Good morning, everyone. Just going to find myself on my page, and hopefully I have gone live in the right place. Happy Thursday to everyone. If you're here, jump on and say hello. Good morning, Sandy and Veronica. Actually, good afternoon, where you lovely ladies are. Sorry, just gonna put the iPad up so I can see. Hey Veronica, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, Chrissy. Hope you are all well. I'm sorry, I just need a little bit more coffee. So my second today, I'm going to need a lot more of them to get through today. And you don't get to see my face today. I'm sorry. My eyes are a little bit puffy. It's a very emotional day for me today. So I crying off and on. So it's a shocker. For those who don't know, today marks the 12-month anniversary of my mother passing. Yesterday was the 12-month anniversary of us moving to Queensland from New South Wales, so 1,200 kilometres. And then the day before that was the 18-month anniversary of my father passing. So a very, very emotional week. But tomorrow, so today marks the end of a crap, basically, sorry for the language, 2 years. Tomorrow marks a fresh start. Gone through all the hard emotional stuff and ready to move on tomorrow. So that's why you don't see my face today. Yeah. Thank you for the love and kisses, Sandy. Is it? Yes, I heard it's freezing down there. Thank you for sharing, Linda. Hot and severe windstorms in Newcastle. Oh gosh, Veronica, that's not good. Such a mix of weather, seriously. Like 1,000 kilometres between Victoria and Newcastle, or maybe a bit more, and totally opposite ends of the weather spectrum. That's just amazing. That amazes me every day, things like that happen. And snow in like Victoria or something or other. Who knows? All right, well, up here in Brisbane, I actually haven't been outside today. It's a bit overcast, a little bit overcast. And apparently there's some storms rolling through shortly, so it'll be interesting. All right, today I'm using yet another, cling stamp. Now, this is a new one from the Occasions Catalogue coming in January. And if you missed yesterday's video, oh my gosh, you should see these cling stamps. Look at that. They ain't moving anywhere because I have put the labels on them all. And look at this. See? Not going anywhere. I love this. This is just awesome. These cling stamps are going to change the way you stamp. Seriously. So anyway, this is a stamp set that I got as prize patrol at On Stage. Sorry, that cough is still not gone away. So I thought today I would create with this stamp set because I've been dying to colour this image here. So pretty. So the first one I'm going to do, so I'm going to do 3 cards today, alright? First one is just a simple monochrome card. So I'm going to pick a colour and we're going to stamp in that colour. And I think I might do Old Olive because the other, I can't reach it. The other 2 I'm doing are going to be, have Old Olive in them. So we'll keep them all together because someone's going to get this set at the end of this week. So one lucky viewer, how do those ads go? One lucky viewer will receive this amazing compilation of handmade cards. So I should be voiceover. That, no, or I'm going crazy. I don't know. Right, so I've stamped up my stamp, and because now I have my labels on them, really, really cool, I can see where it's going to be on my card and not try and, you know, guesstimate where it's going to land and what angle it's going to be at. And I think I want it to go that way because I sort of want it to be like a bunch of flowers that you'd hand someone, full of natives or something scrummy like that. Oh, that is so pretty. So now I'm just going to add a sentiment to that. So this is going to be a really simple card, but hopefully, I don't know what sentiment to put on there. Together is a wonderful place to be. You are the best thing I never knew I needed, and thinking of you. Help me pick a sentiment. No, I've got ink on there. Look. Oh, no, I haven't. Yes, I have. Oh, bugger. Hey, Janice, Pam, Chrissy, Wendy. I think I've said hello to everyone so far. Thank you for watching. If you're here, jump on and say hello. And, sorry. Don't forget to share my videos, because everyone who shares goes into the draw for a little prize. So what sentiment should I use, peoples? Together it's a wonderful place to be. You are the best thing I never knew I needed, or thinking of you. And yes, it is a beautiful, beautiful stamp set. I love this. It actually comes with framelits. I'm pretty sure it's got framelits comes with it in a bundle. And also the most gorgeous paper, but I haven't got that yet, and I can't show you because it's in the catalogue. Thank you. Thinking of you. Right, okay. That seems to be the consensus, so let's go that. And my block's a bit big for this, but anyway, we'll be right. Hey, Rails, thank you for sharing. Right, and I'm just going to put that here. My head's going to get in the way. I know, I'm sorry. Nice. All right, so very, very simple. Monochromatic, 2 stamps. And if I'm game, let's find some ribbon to tie a bow. I'm going to bring a bit of yellow into it. Oh my goodness. I just wish everything was fingertip length reach, you know, like I just stretch so far to reach my ribbons. But yeah, never mind. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Yes, been here for a year now in Queensland. Time has gone so fast. Right, so I'm just going to tie a lovely little bow. Well, actually, me tying a bow and lovely in the same sentence don't really work. But anyway, I've tied a bow. Here we go. Cute little bow. I'm just going to stick that on there. Grab a glue dot. Glue dots are amazing for sticking on bows and things like that. They're just the right size normally for the back of your bow. Then there's no fussing around with sticky fingers, gluey fingers. Right, trim. All right, there we have card 1. I'm sorry, they're not even, and it's going to worry me. Oh, that'll do. There we go. Sorry. Now I can step this up a little bit more and add a few rhinestones. So let's do that, and then I'll finish with that one because I've got 2 others I want to show you. Oh, I can't get into them. Alright, so I wanted to ask everyone, when you're watching my videos, are the lights too glary? Because, like, I seriously, even though I've had my eyes tested, I swear I'm half blind because I need so much brightness when I'm creating. But I realised that on the camera that can be a bit glary. So I'm just wondering if you find it hard to see what I'm doing because it is too bright. So let me know and I can most certainly turn the light off, or I've just turned one aside a little bit. So maybe that's a bit better because I work with white a lot. So that's going to glare really bad. There we go. First card done. Nice and sweet and simple stamping. Tie a bow, add some rhinestones, and you are done. Alright. There's card 1. Second card, I thought what I'd do is bring in some watercolouring. So I have it pre-stamped, and there's a few reasons for that. Yes, and I know the older you get, the more light you need. Seriously, I can't work with black or dark colours of a night, no matter how bright I have it. I still cannot work with dark colours of a night. Still a bit dark down the bottom, Wendy. That's fine. I can move a lamp over. I've got two, and they're 2 daylight lamps. So, like, seriously, if I can't see with them, I've got a problem. Right, here we go. We're going to watercolour this one. So we'll move our first card out of the way. And with this one, I am simply just going to mount it on a piece of old olive. Just like that, but we're going to watercolour it. I thought just for something different. So I'm using our watercolour pencils, obviously. So this is the original assortment that's in the annual catalogue. And this could not be easier. So when I go to watercolour, don't use a sharp tip. If you've got a sharp tip, then just colour in on a scrap piece of paper so you get like a blunt edge, because you're looking for like an overall colour, not defined lines, because it will blend a lot easier. And when I watercolour, I'm not trying to go for shading like you do when you use like alcohol markers. It's just literally getting the colour down onto the paper. And the image I have stamped onto watercolour paper. And a tip for stamping onto watercolour paper is use your Stamparatus. Because of the style of it's the comment banner makes it darker. Ah, okay. Yeah. No worries. I get you now. Okay. What was I saying? I don't know. It's gone. It's gone. Oh, yeah. Stamping on watercolour paper. All right. It is a coarser paper with more texture on it. So the ink takes a little bit longer to soak in. All right. So you need to hold your stamp longer when you're stamping on watercolour paper. But the thing I have found, the trick I have found, is use your Stamparatus, because then you can go over it multiple times if it doesn't stamp right the first time. Makes it so easy. Sorry. Because watercolour paper is a lot more expensive than your normal cardstock. So you don't want to be like turning it over and stamping again and then getting it wrong and bringing out another bit. Like, you could go through a lot of paper doing that. It makes it very expensive. So I've used Old Olive on the leaves there. I have used, what's this, Early Espresso on the stalks. I'm going to come in with Bermuda Bay on these leaves because I don't want them to be the same green, and there's only one green in this selection of watercolour pencils. So we're going for Bermuda Bay. And you'll see I'm not colouring the whole of the leaves so far. I'm just getting a bit of colour down because I want to sort of like push it out with the aqua painter. And there's no wrong and right way with watercolouring. Some people get really intimidated, I guess is the word, with watercolouring. It's so easy to do. Don't let it stress you. And there's no right and wrong, and everyone does it differently. So like I've seen, you know, and people have tried to teach me techniques where you go around in circles, like you only colour in circles. Like I was colouring up and down like you normally would an image before, and people have told me, oh, but you've got to colour in little circles to get the best coverage. And it's like, do it how I want to. There's no wrong or right way. That pencil's about to break. There's no right and wrong way. Veronica's asking, would you stamp with StazOn or Memento for the watercolouring? I use Memento. I only use StazOn for a non-porous surface. So if you want to stamp on like a acetate, our window sheets, or vellum, or fabric, glass, things like that, I use StazOn for. And I can see an issue going forward in the cling stamps with Stays On. And it's to do with the labels, because the labels have the stick in them for the cling stamps. And I can see you can't get alcohol on the labels for the cling stamps because I think it affects the stickiness. So I think the Stays On cleaner may very well do the same. So you just got to be really, really careful about that. And I've lost my aqua painter. You found it. Yes, Gail, no jewellery today. I know. Sorry to just... I got one. That's my mum's original wedding band. She had to get that cut off when she had my brother because her fingers swelled really bad. And growing up, she always had it, you know, in her jewellery box under her bed with all her other stuff. And I'd always go in there and try it on because it had a great big gap in it, like where they had to cut it off. And I always said, oh, one day I want this ring, Mum, you know. So when I got married, they had actually, Mum and Dad had actually gone and got it repaired. And some of the engraving, because engraved inside with their names and wedding date, had been, that's where they'd cut it. So they got it re-engraved for me and they gave it to me on my wedding day. It was so special. And I have never taken it off, you know. Like even when I went to have my 2 kids in hospital, I have never ever taken that ring off. Never in a day since I've been married 20 years next April. So like that was a good way to start the makeup running on my wedding day before I even got out the door. Yes, so sorry, I didn't put any jewelry on today. And if you missed the start, Gail, you're not seeing my face either at the start today if you watch the replay, because I'm just a little bit emotional today. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm just running over the watercolour pencils with my aqua painter, just blending the colour out. I'm not going for light and shade, anything like that. I'm naturally getting it lighter at the tips of the leaves because I have less pencil up there, so it's getting like light and dark anyway. So you just run over, and all you're trying to do is make sure that you can't actually see the pencil marks where you've coloured. Sorry. Alright, so now I have finished with this green. I'm just going to wipe my aqua painter on some paper and to clean it. And then I'm just going to choose the next colour item to blend out, and I'm doing the Bermuda Bay leaves. I find watercolouring really, really relaxing. Once you get over that, it doesn't have to look perfect thing in your mind. I think it's incredible how the pencil and the water interact and just does its own thing. I mean, you can get some oh, so sorry. You can get some really cool effects with watercolouring. But for me, a lot of the time it's just about colouring the image and not going for anything fancy. You're sending huggles my way today, Rails. Thank you, honey. I'm popping out to the cemetery this afternoon, so that will be a bit tough, but, you know. Right, so now I've done with the Bermuda Bay. I'm going to come in and do the centre of the flowers, which is the same colour that I've done these little buds in. Now, there's no rhyme or reason to my colouring. It's just like, oh, what am I going to colour next? There's no reason why I'm doing it in the order I am. And don't worry if it goes outside the lines. I think watercolouring sometimes looks really effective when you sort of go outside and get a bit of a blur or a smudge. Looks really cool. Yeah, no, none of this light and dark fussing around, hey Sylvia, just get the colour on there. That's what I do. So I hope you can see from this, it's so easy to do your watercolouring and it's not scary. It is a little bit more time consuming, but with an outline image like this, you really, you know, you have to try colouring it. So if you don't like colouring, you wouldn't buy an outline image. It's only so much you can do when you stamp it in the one colour. So I'm also going to colour this in blends one day. I think that'll look really pretty. So the only thing I have left now is to do the stems. If you find that you're not getting enough water through your pen, just give it a gentle squeeze on the barrel, and then you'll start a bit more water flowing down. And obviously the more water you have coming out of your pen, the more blended and smudged, I guess is the word, your colouring is going to be. I think that's all I had for the brown. Hey Angie, thanks for jumping in. So now the last thing is just the stems down the middle, some of which I've missed colouring, but that's okay. Alright, so there we have our watercoloured image. A lot more you could do to that. You could put a shadow around it or just a general colour around it to lift it off the page a bit, but I'm just going to leave it basic like that. And we're just going to put it on our card, get our card around the right way so it's opening the right way. And I'm just going to pop on the old olive panel that I have, which is 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. That's my standard base a lot of times for my card front. And just should leave a uniform gap all the way around. Hey Carol, thank you for sharing. Yes, just a quick reminder, if you share my video, you go into the draw for a prize. Now for this one, I'm going to tie in this yellow ribbon again. So I'm just going to pop some around the card down here. Tape it at the back. So I'm going to grab my tear and tape. Now you may have noticed I've been using, because I haven't been able to find my tear and tape, an El Cheapo tape that I got years ago. Well, apparently there's a lifespan limit to that tape because it loses its stickiness. Oh, I did a 3D project the other day and I have gone back to it 5 days, like 5 times since, and had to rub it and stick it down again because the tape, I think, has lost its stickiness. Video is blurry today, and then realised you have the wrong glasses on. Anne. I shouldn't laugh at you, but gee, that's funny. Hey Sherry, thank you for joining me all the way from Texas. I love how this crafting gets me in touch with people from all over the world. It's super amazing and I love it. All right, that's crooked. We're going to dimensional that because I'm not going to put much more on it. A sentiment at the top and then a bow on this ribbon. And then we shall be, I think, done with this card. Whoops. Yeah, so my lesson with the double-sided tape is just stick with what I know is going to work. And let's put lots of dimensionals on the back. Did I lose one there or did I not put one on? I took the tape off and then didn't put a dimensional there. Oh dear. Yes, heat affects glues and stuff. Yes, very much so. And I think because all my craft stuff was, except for my Stampin' Up stuff, everything else was in storage for a while in like a hot warehouse. So and I've had this tape. I bought it all when I was scrapping, and I haven't. I think I even bought it when I was doing scrap teaching, like scrapbook teaching in a local store. And I think, geez, that's got to be. Well, I gave that up when I joined Stampin' Up, so that's 6 years ago. So I've had that tape for 6 years or more. And I've just had a thought, I'm not putting that on yet. And you know why? Because I need to put my sentiment on, which I want to stamp in Memento. And yeah, these, good morning Lorraine, these cling mount stamps, put them on your case to store them like this, but they will really stick to the case. So you have to be careful lifting them up, all right? So that's just a little trick there. Right, I'm going to stamp this in Memento, and I should have done this before I put it on the card base, but anyway, I like to live life dangerously. And fingers crossed, no second chances with this because it's on the card front. Fingers crossed, all of your glue dots and foam squares don't stick, so you have to use a glue dot under them. Yeah, sorry my head's in the way. I can see it on the, because there's a delay. I can't even talk. There is a delay from what I'm doing to what you're seeing. So I've stamped that like 2 seconds before you got to see it. So my head got in the way, I'm sorry. I'm going to center that, and that is crooked. But hey, it wouldn't be one of my cards if my sentiments weren't crooked. Actually, that's what I didn't get. I just remembered. I went to Officeworks yesterday, and I knew there was something else I wanted. It's a T-square. I watch, what's her name? One of the American stampers. Jennifer Maguire, I think, is her name. And she uses a T-ruler to line up things. And I thought that is brilliant. So I'm going to buy one. And of course I went to Officeworks yesterday and forgot to get one. Never mind, I'll have to go back today. What a shame. Other things might have to fall into my trolley because I'm a bit of a stationery addict. So, you know. Because I bought highlighters yesterday as well. I went for labels for my label maker and I came out with highlighters and post-it notes and other stuff. What makes them more clingier, the cling mount stamps, it is the labels. It's all in. Is that what you're talking about? It's the labels, and they are amazing. So compared to I'll just run through this for those who haven't seen it. Compared to a normal stamp, I still have one here from yesterday. Let me grab a normal. Hang on, I don't have many with labels on them. Hang on a minute. I've converted these two, so you may not be able to see it very well. Right. This is a normal clear mount stamp, rubber mount on foam, and then the label on it, which is really shiny, has no stick whatsoever. This is your cling mount stamp, which is a matte finish, and it has inbuilt stickiness to it. Now, it's not a tacky sticky. I can keep doing that. I'm not getting any residue, any stickiness on my finger whatsoever. They are just sticking and not moving, which is brilliant. Now, you can convert your normal clear mount stamps. Once you get a cling mount stamp set, don't cut away the sticker sheet. So don't throw away the sticker sheet that comes with it, because you can cut sections off and put it on top of your clear mount labels, and then you have a cling mount stamp. Now, I don't know if I've done this one right. I might have got that on the wrong side because it appears to be losing its cling. I think I've got that on the wrong side. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to take that off now either, because once they're on, they are permanent. So I might have. If they will eventually, I think over time, lose their clinginess a little bit, but you just rinse them under cold water, and it will bring back, I think it's cold water, it'll bring back the clinginess to the label, okay? So that's a good tip to convert all your clear mounts. But the label is the money winner on these. They are brilliant. So I'm just going to get back to the card, put a bow there. Cut that a bit short. Hi, Kathy, how are you? Thank you for joining me. And now I have a little bit of black ink. I'm not sure if you can see that there. So I'm just going to cover that with a dimensional. That's what we have, dimensional. That's what we have rhinestones for, isn't it? That's why they made them. Cover up our mistakes. And then one here. Yes, the T-square. I'm going to go get one there. I'll have to write it down. I'm going to forget. All right, so there's card 2. So far we have very, very simple, just straight stamped onto the card front. Our first card, our second one, we have watercolored and a little bit more detail. Now our third one, we're going to step it up again. All right, so I have already pre-colored the image, already pre-watercolored it. You can see from this card how different it looks. So this one I've done a little bit darker on the green. Everything's just a little bit darker on this one. So every time you colour it, it's going to turn out differently. What I want to do with this one is I want to emboss this piece of yellow with the fantastic tin tile. I'm not going to say the whole thing because it's a mouthful. The tin tile embossing folder. There we go. It's got like a textured, what's it say? Tin tile dynamic textured impressions embossing folder. Yeah, no. Just the tin tile embossing folder is good enough for me. So I'm going to run away and do that and come back. One thing I wanted to point out too with which is new in our embossing folders is this line. This line is brilliant and I really should be using it, okay? You need to, well you don't need to, but it's beneficial for people like me who have a crooked eye. You can use that line to get your cardstock straight in your embossing folder. Just line it up and then close it and hold it with all your might when you're going to big shot so it doesn't move. But that line is brilliant and a game changer. Right, talk amongst yourselves, admire the stamp set while I go and emboss this, alright? Be back in a tick. Okay, so also, if you haven't used one of these embossing folders, the dynamic textured ones, they are thicker. You'll notice they are thicker than our normal embossing folders. The plate sandwich that you need for these is different. All you need, if you have the new plate that comes with the Big Shot currently, if you don't have one, get one. Get rid of the platform you have with all the different sleeves on it because they are a pain in the butt. You want the new platform, and then when you use these folders, you just have the new platform and then one acrylic plate on top, and you just run it through. So you don't need the thin die adapter or two plates. It's just one acrylic plate and the platform. Yes, Nicole, no worries. Watch a replay, and I hope to catch up soon. So the other thing with these embossing folders, like I like how this has turned out. That's quite okay. Nothing wrong with that. But what they suggest is to get a nice image and a crisp image and a better impression is slightly mist your cardstock first, and that will help you get a better impression. I find I don't have to do that very often. They come out quite fine for me. But every Big Shot is different, and the rollers are a different tightness. So I guess if you have Big Shot that the rollers are not as tight, then you might want to do that. Alright, so the theory with this card was we're going to put our Daffodil Delight piece on there, and then I was going to cut this out. Let's see how quickly I can fussy cut this out and see how it goes. It may not work and I may change the design, but if you guys have the time, then so do I. Yeah, I didn't think about this too well, did I? Because that's really lots of fussy cutting on the around those buds. We'll see what we can do up there, hey? Hey Kylie, thank you for watching. And I don't know about you, but when I fussy cut, I find a lot of time I move the paper instead of the scissors. And I think a lot of people say, don't do that. Move the scissors, not the paper. I find it so much easier to control the pressure on my scissors and just move the paper. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit different. I've been told that lots, but anyway. So when I come to a join here, the bud is actually budding up to that leaf, but I want to get rid of this little bit in here. So I'm going to be naughty and just cut straight down. And you'll see I'm turning the paper. So I'm holding the scissors still. Just slight pressure on the cardstock. And then I'm moving the paper around. I find that so much easier to do. Now I've got to be careful I don't actually cut that leaf. And I'm not going to go in and out all these tiny little buds, but I will try and get some of that excess cardstock out. And this is watercolor paper, so it's a little bit thicker than your normal cardstock. So I do have to be a little bit more careful. Hey Faye, thank you for sharing. So who here hates fussy cutting? I know it's a thing that you either love it or you hate it. There's really no in between with fussy cutting from what I have found. And I remember when I used to do the scrapbook classes at the local scrapbook shop. Oh my gosh. If my layout had fussy cutting on it, I had multiple requests from people, oh, can you cut out our elements first before class so that we don't have to do it? It's like, no. Fussy cutting is relaxing. Crafting should be relaxing. It shouldn't be stressful. Ironing, you don't like, I don't mind fussy cutting, just like ironing, Anne. Oh, ironing. Can you do my ironing, darling? Because, like, you know what's really embarrassing? Since we moved, when we moved, I gave away the ironing board and the iron from Sydney, and I went, yeah, I'm not going to need one for a while because I'm going to be staying at Mum's house. So, yeah. We have been in our own house now up here for 9 months, and I still don't have an ironing board or an iron. And I didn't grab Mum's one. My brother put that in storage, so I don't have an ironing board or an iron. That's really slack, isn't it? Oh dear. Never mind. We feel like we're on one permanent holiday up here, so who needs fancy clothes that need ironing? Not me. Lorraine, you don't mind fussy cutting? Yes. Veronica, you love fussy cutting? Yeah, I'm a bit of a fussy cutting fan. And I bought a scan and cut. I know it's not Stampin' Up, but you know. I bought a scan and cut in August for my birthday, and I've used it once. And every time I'm doing fussy cutting, it's like, I really should get that out and use it. But it probably would take me just as long to set that up to cut something as what it would to fussy cut it. Well, that's what I'm thinking anyway. But I do need to use it because I know it's going to be a matter of time and hubby's going to say to me, you don't use that. It wasn't cheap. You need to use it. Oh, this little bit's a bit tricky. Oh, goodness. I'll try not to cut that stem off. Oh, my scissors are getting stuck. How do they work? Are you talking about the scan and cuts? Sandy, is that what you're talking about? Yes, buy, wash and wear clothes, Faye. That's what I do. I avoid things that need to be ironed. But the trick that one of my aunts told me was that if you dry things in the dryer, then you take them out straight away, fold them or hang them up. When they're still warm from the dryer, you don't need to iron them. Good trick. Sandy, the scan and cuts, it comes with pre-designed shapes and things that you can cut out. It's like an electronic cutter. And you can also scan in images or even design a series paper. And then it will trace around what is on the that it's scanned in, and then you can select what you want to cut. So when I did, I think it was when I sent out the holiday catalogue to everyone, and I included a card that had the flowers on it from the First Frost product suite, the flowers from that stamp set. And I thought, because I was doing so many and there was like 3 or I don't know how many flowers on each card, it was a ridiculous idea to make so many of the same of that card. But anyway, so I thought I'll use my scan and cut for them. And it worked well, but I chose the wrong stamp because it was a distinctive stamp, so it was shaded, and it sometimes picked up the light shading as not part of the flower. Because what you do is you put it on a special mat and you feed it through the machine, it scans it and then shows you an image on the screen of what it has found. And for some of those flowers, it sort of only cut out part of the flower. So then once you scan it, you then can see on the screen what it wants to cut out, and then you can adjust it. Or you can go, yes, just cut what you see. And then it pulls it back in and then cuts it. It's really, really good for picking out things from designer series paper. So the Celebration butterfly paper is going to be brilliant if you have a scan and cut, because you should be able to scan that in and cut out those butterflies. And you can choose to do a border around it, around each item that it's going to cut, or no border. You can choose the depth of the border. They are really quite good. And I'm hoping one of these years that Stampin' Up! Are going to bring out a similar machine but make it better. I live in hope. No, it's not too complicated, Sandy. It's probably just the way I've explained it. It's not complicated at all. It does sound it, but once you get it and you use it, yeah, it's not really that hard. Simply a matter of putting your stamped images or your paper on a mat, pressing a button, and then saying yes, you like what it's going to cut out, press another button and it cuts. It's really not hard. But saying that, they're not cheap either, so, you know. Am I taking too long cutting this out? I feel like I'm going forever. And there's a bit on there that I'm not happy with, so I can't get into it. So maybe this wasn't such a great idea. And I'm going to mask this somehow, I think, because I don't like how I haven't cut in there, but I don't know how to get in there. Let me rethink that. If I mount it on a circle that is vanilla, no, white, because I've got a white card base, then maybe it won't be so noticeable that I haven't cut out there. Nearly there, look at that. Yes, we did it. All right. Can't believe you all stayed for that. Oh my goodness. Right, so I'm not going to be bothered cutting in there. It's just all too hard. You know, sometimes it's just all too hard. I love fussy cutting, but no, not that much today. So my solution is going to be pull out my trusty circles somewhere. Wait a minute. Right, we're going to cut a circle to go under it, and I'm going to mount it. There you go. If I do something like that, that's going to mask a little bit that I haven't cut all that. Let me put these somewhere so I don't lose all my circles. Right, I'm going to cut out a white circle. I shall be back. Alright, here we go. So let's mount that on there and see, it's not as noticeable now that I haven't cut out all that all the flowers there, the buds, whatever they're called. Here, there's more than one way to get something done, hey? Right, so our embossed piece. I love this embossing folder. And I think the good news is, I don't know if I should be telling you this, but anyway, I think this is carrying over this embossing folder. So that will be really cool because it's very, very nice. Alright, so we just have our backing piece, and I'm not going to dimensionalize the flowers because that will highlight that I haven't cut out all those pieces. Instead, I'm going to dimensionalize the circle. Maybe I should stick some of these leaves down and poke it up a little bit. Okay, so then I'm just going to dimensionalize that there and then put a banner. Maybe I should put it there. Where's my dimensionals? Who's taken them? Found them, don't worry, stop looking. Alright, so just dimensionals on the back of this. Come off. Oh no. You're ordering that folder, Anne? Yes, it's very nice. I'm so sorry. Alright, and that is just going to sit there. Very pretty. And yes, we need another bow because we're going to tie them all together. So this set of 3 cards will go to, I think, someone who shares today's video. I reckon. This will be a nice little set. So if you want this set, share my video, let me know you've shared it, and it could be winging its way to you tomorrow. Alright, cute little bow. Isn't it funny, Sylvia? Like you said, you fell in love with it and it's the first thing you ordered. And I guess these shows were all different. I really, when I first saw it, went, oh, I don't know if I like it. Then I saw a few projects made with it, and then I think I was looking for something different for to put in an order. Like, I'd got most of the things that I loved. I actually got all the things I loved out of the holiday catalogue. And then I was looking for other things that I could show people, and I went, oh, look, I'll just get it. Then I used it and went, oh, now I know why everyone loves it. It's just really beautiful. Yes, pressed metal in the old Queensland is really, wow, that's really cool. All right, so now I need a sentiment. So I'm going to grab some Whisper White. Oh, that I've left at the big shot. Hang on a minute. I'm going to stamp a sentiment, cut a banner. So the only sentiment we haven't used, oh, is that going to look odd? Let me try something. I want to test something out. I want to use this sentiment, but it's not going to cut a very nice banner. It's going to be too big. So how about we cut it into a circle, a smaller circle, and see how that goes. Vintage, yes, I love vintage too. Alright, so let's probably waste too much paper, but anyway. Let's try this and see if this works. So grab my circle thinlets again. And perfect. Now I'm going to hold this down with washi tape. I know I should be using my magnetic platform, but I'm not going to take the time to dig it out and swap it around. I'll be back. okay. Oh, does that look okay? I think that looks pretty cool. Yes or no? Tell me yes or no. You vote. Let me know whether you like that or not. I have no idea what the time is. Oh, it's okay. I haven't been on here an hour yet. We're nearly done. I'm thinking that looks okay there. What's everyone else think? I'm thinking it's okay. Yes? Alright, Lorraine voted yes. That's good enough for me. Here we go. Unsure, Veronica? Too late. Suck down now. There we go. And unsure? Oh, well. It's done now. Oh, it looks okay. It's different. It's not what I'd normally do, but it's done now. And, of course, we need to add some of our rhinestones. One there. Oops, where'd that one go? One over here. And one up there. There we go. Done. So there's our 3 cards today. Each stepped up a little from the first. So we've got our first one, which is just our plain stamping with a ribbon and some rhinestones. Our next one, which is watercoloured on a backing piece. And then this one we've watercoloured cut out. We've got some embossing happening. 3 very different cards, but the same stamp set. So lots and lots you can do with this stamp set. And I've only used the one stamp with the sentiments. I haven't even used the flowers, the leaves, or the little background dotty things. So lots you can do with that. Now, if you want this stamp set now, or before January, because this is only available in the Occasions Catalogue coming January 3. If you want it before that, you can get it in December if you join my team. In December, as a demonstrator, you can order from the Occasions Catalogue, so you can get it earlier, and plus you get 20% discount on the price on the stamp set, and everything in the Occasions Catalogue, you get your 20% discount. So really, really cool. If you have any questions, then make sure you pop them below, and I will see you all next week. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and make sure you come back Tuesday for some more live crafting. And yeah, I'll see you all next week, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.